All right, guys, welcome back to another interview on Unhinged. I'm joined by Stuart Austin. An absolute pleasure. How are you?
How's it going, Lenny? I'm good, thank you very much. Excited to speak to you.
Yeah, I'm very excited to speak to you. You've got a fantastic fight coming up on Oktagon MMA. It's going to be a fantastic show. And with names like Stuart Austin on the undercard, on the card, you know you're in for a good night.
Undercard, bro. Come on. What are they doing? I was hurt and upset.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that too far because we just started the relationship with Oktagon. But yeah, I do. Eventually you're going to get there or go up the rankings and get that into the bigger spots in the promotion. But it's a great start, and I would love to talk about Oktagon MMA as a promotion. I know you've been around. You fought in Bama. Like, for God's sake, who fought in Bama and he's still fighting around? It's incredible. That show was ridiculous.
I fought in Bellator when it was the Beyond Rebney days.
Oh my! Like, it's
I'm
ridiculous.
old.
You fought in Bama, and there's not many people that fought in Bama are still around. And Bama was such a really good promotion. If there was one thing I could bring back from English MMA, it would be Bama because it was such a great promotion. But yeah, as I was talking about, you're making your debut in Oktagon MMA. You've been around. You've done this so many times. But how does this one feel? Obviously, making a different promotion, a really big European promotion, Oktagon MMA.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. They're seeming to do some big things at the moment. They're making some cool moves. Obviously, they've started going into Germany, and they're coming to the UK this year. So they've gone from they're kind of a powerhouse out in the Czech Republic and Slovakia, aren't they? Like, every time you see them, their events are absolutely massive. They're getting thousands and thousands of people, big TV deals. And it's starting to look pretty cool out there. And then, as they're expanding, obviously, it looks like they want to be the show in Europe, and they're not far off already.
I completely agree. Obviously, you've got some contenders, KSW and stuff like that, and Cage Warriors, obviously. But I feel like with the talent, as you mentioned just there, that they're signing from the UK, they're putting their names out there, and they're signing some pretty ones. Andrew Fisher just of late. I just talked to Callum Mullen yesterday. Some fantastic fighters, and obviously your name being added to that, it's a fantastic addition.
Yeah, and Andrew Fisher is a bit of a monster. I feel like he slips under the radar a little bit. I went to train up at his gym at Team Fish Tank with Phil DeFries, and Andrew and a bunch of their guys there. And Andrew is great. He's like sort of coach athlete up there. And technically he's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. When he's fighting, he's one of those guys who's like super efficient. He's almost to a fault to himself in terms of, like, he's not maybe sometimes as exciting as other guys because he's just technically tearing people apart and people don't know what to do. So he's kind of able to just physically dominate them. And you look at the guy and he's not like, a big monstrous guy. It's just pure technique. It's crazy. He genuinely taught me some. I've been in the sport, as a pro for 13 years, and I went in the room with him and Big Phil, and I got schooled on a few things I'd never seen before, a few interesting techniques, just like some things that, genuinely really cool stuff.
Yeah, you just mentioned there, TFT, Team Fish Tank, fantastic, quite a lot of fights coming out of there right now. And as you just mentioned, the two there, Andrew Fisher, obviously, and obviously Phil DeFries, and he's been tearing it up in KSW. It's ridiculous. He's been on like a 9-fight winning streak and had the most title defenses. So what was it like to train around him? Because obviously he's been up there, he's doing it on a big scale, obviously in KSW as well.
Yeah, I mean, Phil legit is amazing. Like, he's brilliant. Like, he's one of the best MMA grapplers I've ever trained with by far, and he's such a big dude, and he's well built a heavyweight. He's a big guy, but he's not like, he's a big chunky lad, but he's not like fat. He's very, very solid. He's got a decent gas tank for his size, and just his level of grappling control is tremendous. There's no show in the world who I don't think, I think pretty much any heavyweight in the world, in terms of grappling, I think he'd shock them with how good he is. He really is tremendous. It was awesome to go up there and train with him. He whipped my ass. I had really, really cool rounds with him. There's not many people who give me rounds like that. And it was awesome to get working with him.
Yeah, Phil Freeze is absolutely incredible. But I'd love to speak about you. Obviously, fighting Josh Winter on April 29th, Oktagon MMA. Obviously, making your 25th walk. I talked about that. You're making your 25th walk into the cage. Is it just like second nature now to you? You know, now you walk into the cage, you're just comfortable, maybe a few nerves, but you've made it. You made that walk so many times now.
It's kind of I've kind of gone through different phases in my career. To be honest, the more nervous I am, generally the better I do. Um, there was a time in my career where I was super relaxed and calm, and it just never. I feel like the nerves like keep me sharp, keep me keep my mind sort of like alert and force me to be a bit more aggressive. I think when I was a bit too comfortable, it was kind of more of a bad thing than a good. So yeah, I don't know, but like I'm definitely used to being in there, but at the same time, I've kind of I don't take it for granted, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And as I talked about, Josh Winter, your opponent, your adversary, on April 29th, he's had 7 professional fights. And as I talked about, you're making your 25th walk into that cage. So do you feel like that experience, how, how wide it is? Do you see that being a difference on fight day? Because, you've been around for such a long time and he's, on the come up.
I mean, maybe, hopefully, I hope so. But so often you see like young up and coming fighters beat older guys. It's not. I'm sure everyone who stood in John Jones's way on his way up, was thought they had the experience advantage as well until they got their ass kicked. So, I don't take anything for granted. At the end, especially at heavyweight MMA, he's a big dude. He's like 6'6", 6'7". He's a giant of a man. He's gonna come and try and not, try and bash my head in, do jiu-jitsu, whatever it is he does, and do his thing. And I'm gonna try and do mine. So yeah, kind of experience only matters if I win. If I win, I'll be like, oh yeah, I was too much experience for him, and if I lose, people are like, oh, he's old, he's had too many, what I mean? It's one of those ones. If I win, it'll be mine. If I lose, then it's also my fault,
And let's talk about that matchup. You kind of just topped onto it there. I'd love to know what you know about Josh Wint heading into this one. Obviously, as I talked about, there's not really much on him. And obviously, he's fighting out of France, born in Suriname, I believe, of Africa. So, yeah, he's fighting out of France. What do you kind of know about this matchup and what do you expect from Josh, obviously, on fight day?
He does a bit of everything. He strikes, he wrestles a little bit, he does a lot of jits. Honestly, like, I kind of know he likes to throw a lot of kicks. He likes to throw, 1-2, big 1-2 down the middle, and but he kind of tries to do a bit of everything. At the end of the day, I think I essentially do everything better than him. I think I can outstrike him, wrestle him, or jits him. So it's a case of like just putting it together on the night. So I'm not, like I'm kind of focusing more on myself. Let my coaches focus on him and give me advice about that. But I've watched his fights, I've taken my notes, but I kind of nowadays I leave it more to my coaches.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, you talked about there, you focus on yourself. So, what are you going to do on fight day for you, obviously, to get the win, get your hand raised, and obviously make it 2 back-to-back wins now?
I don't know. Be a heavyweight. Go out there, punch him in the face. Hopefully, he falls down. If he doesn't, I'll wrap my arms around him and fat splash him to the floor. And then monkey pound him until I win, hopefully. I don't know, something along those lines, traditional heavyweight fighting. We'll see what happens. Like, honestly, I do what my coaches tell me. I've got Marcus Paul and Rowan Katsu in my corner. And yeah, like, if they tell me to, like double jab and bang the leg, I'm going to double jab and bang the leg. If they tell me to, set up the double leg here, I'm going to set up the double leg, I'm pretty good, like, when it comes to it, down to the day, following the game plan, doing what I'm told. And if they're cool for adjustments in the fight, I'll make them. Do what I need to do to get my hand raised.
And obviously, going back to Oktagon MMA, as I talked about, fantastic promotion. Obviously, they've got rankings and stuff. They're very well-established European promotion, as we talked about. Are you looking at the top of the division, maybe seeing that belt and thinking you'd like to have a little run at it, and obviously have a chance to fight for the belt? And as you talked about, they're coming to England, so it'll be a fantastic time for him, to get an English main event, get Stuart in there.
100%. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm here for the belt. You know, like my contract, I get paid more if I'm fighting for the belt. So, you know, it makes sense. You know, the guy with the belt around his waist in a show is going to get paid the most. And obviously, you know, assuming you got the belt kind of assumes you win as well. So it kind of goes hand in hand. I want to win. You know, I want to win. I want to win the title. And it'd be nice to be main event in Manchester. So yeah, I'd be very excited to be the main event if I can get this one out of the way, you know, and then keep things moving. I want to fight 3 times this year, so I might even be fighting again before the end of the year, before it comes to UK in my head.
Yeah, this is your.
But
Yeah. Karen,
sorry,
sorry.
yeah,
Oh,
you
Karen,
go.
sorry. You go. But yeah, as I talked about, this was your first outing. You talked about there. You want 2 more, hopefully, and obviously Octagon do come to England this year. That'll be good.
Yeah, definitely. 2 more would be amazing. I've never fought 3 times in a calendar year. Um,
Wow.
I've only ever pulled out of 2 fights. So take that as what it may. You know, like I've never been able to fight 3 times in a year. Either not been able to fight with someone, or people pull out, or they just turn me down, or it's been a bit of a problem in my career. But I would love to have 3 fights this year. It'd be amazing.
Absolutely. And obviously, the decision to sign with Octagon MMA. What is it that it kind of interested you about the promotion? Is it kind of what they're building at the moment? Obviously, with the as we talked about the English MMA talent.
Yes, I mean, like not only what they're building now, I think they've already got something good. Out there, they are filling, busy stadiums. I think this will probably one of like if it. I mean, they've told me they sell out, and if it's sold out, this is going to be the biggest event I've ever fought at.
Wow.
So they're filling 8, 10,000 seater stadiums. It's no, that's it's
Big
pretty
time
big,
stuff.
big deal.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a cool event. It's people are adding me on Instagram. Like the Czech fans, the Slovak fans, and sending me messages. It's great to hear. Like people are into the sport out there. So I don't know. I'm taking it one fight at a time. If I beat this guy, then I can worry about the next one after that. I'll worry about the belt later on. I've already had talks with Andre, the main man over there, about my career path in Octagon and where they see me in the future. So it's just a case of get my hand raised this time and then move on to the next.
Absolutely. And my last question I have for you, you pride yourself in finishes. I mean, 12 out of your 16 wins, you finished. So that's 75%. If you look at it, if we look at a stats person, this is 75% of your wins that you finished. Obviously, on fight day, I assume that you're going to want to return back to finishing ways. And obviously, how you're going to do that, because you're going to want to make a statement, as you talked about, for them Czech fans.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. Like, I kind of visualize in my head a submission. I know he thinks he's a bit of a jitsi guy, but like it's MMA. It's not pajama sports. So it's like it's kind of a different sport. I can kind of visualize a submission, but I'm not fussy with that. Like if I hit him with the right hand and he falls down, then if the referee wants to raise my hand, then I'll take it. It's one of these ones, if he's a super tough guy and wants me to pound on him for 3 rounds, beat him up on the feet, ground and pound him, whatever, and survive, then I'll take the decision if I have to. But I want to look impressive and dominant in this fight. I want it to be like kind of a one-sided fight.
Yeah, absolutely. A fantastic debut. I'm looking forward to it. Octagon MMA. It's going to be an absolute great show. Make sure you catch it. And obviously, thank you so much, Stuart. An absolute pleasure. I wish you the best of luck. And obviously, I hope you bring back that win.
Cheers, Lenny. Thank you. I'll speak to you after.
Yeah, thank you very much. After that win, you bring it back and we'll have a little celebration.